more. Let's keep it going. Abbott Labs resumed producing baby formula at its massive Michigan plant over the weekend. It was shut down in February over reports of contamination, helping trigger the nationwide shortage. Abbott says it will need weeks, more than 2, before the products are back on the shelves. And many are going after the Biden administration's handling of the crisis. Last week, the president said he didn't even know about the crisis until April. Commerce Secretary Gino Raimondo reluctantly said the same thing.
When did you first learn of this problem?
I first learned about it, a couple of months ago.
So April?
This is a difficult issue, but yes, probably April. I'm not involved in the administration's response here, I should say, but I think they're doing a very good job.
She didn't know about it, but she wants to give him an A. Senator Marsha Blackburn, a Republican of Tennessee, sits on the Judiciary and Senate Armed Services Committees. Great to have you in focus. You've always brought us such rich detail on this particular topic and others. I want to lean in hard, though, on why does she just now sound like the president? Is this going to be the playbook? I didn't know.
Yeah, Harris, they want to be the heroes in this, but their response should earn them an F grade. They knew about this. They knew in February we were down 25% as far as the formula outages across the country were trending. They shut down this Abbott facility with no plan to bring it back up. And so, of course, they knew it was going to get worse if they were thinking this through long term and looking for an exit strategy. So obviously they were not. It was just shut it down, blame Abbott, and leave it there. Now, at this point, right now, we are at a 74% outage rate across the country. You have states like Tennessee still about 90. You have Georgia, 94% outage. People cannot get necessary life-giving formula for their babies. They can't get it. And the administration says, pat us on the back. We've got a plan now. We're going to import this. But no, they should be held to account for this. They knew this was a problem. They had no plan to mitigate it. And Harris, that formula that is sitting in the warehouses at the border, we know that those coming with children are going to need some, but we also know formula has an expiration date. San Antonio, Houston, cities along South Texas that are at the top of the list of shortages, they should open this and allow these parents to come get some of this formula to help save those children.
You're so right about that, and I learned from you, Senator Blackburn, that once those expiration dates hit, I mean, that's a pure garbage situation. They could be saving lives right now and not have to throw it out. All right, let's move. Because what you said was they knew about this, so they're either lying or they're completely incompetent. I don't know what's worse. A new Washington Examiner op-ed asked the question, who is in charge of Biden's baby formula response? So is the head of the FDA in charge? Is the head of the HHS in charge? Is the Department of Agriculture in charge? Nobody knows. Not that the White House press corps hasn't been asking. Reporters have been getting frustrated. Check this moment out last week with NBC, essentially telling Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre how to do her job. Watch together.
To say there is no specific person is not a satisfactory answer. When you have senior assistants to the president, there's a paper trail, I'm sure, about briefings to the president. There's a domestic policy council. There's a chief of staff. At some point, we need to know who would have been the most likely person to talk to him. To the president. Like it's evasive.
Oh, to the president. Senator?
Yes, and you have to say who is trying to solve this, who was responsible, who was the team leader for overseeing the Abbott facility, who was the team leader of that project, who did they give their information to, who said shut it down and then had no plan for mitigating the issue and getting the plant reopened, knowing that the plant manufactured over 40% of all the baby formula sold in this country. So here is part of it. No one is in charge, or either you have such a small group that is in charge that they said, oh, well, let's just push that to the side, and it never made it to the top of the heap. They're too busy opening the border. There's crime in the streets, inflation, the price at the pump. The issues are out of control, and you have to wonder, why are they doing this, and why are they making decisions that complicate the lives of the American people every single day?
Why? Again, incompetence or something else? All of it doesn't look good. All right, you mentioned the border, so let's get there. So now we're staring down another caravan that is yet to leave, but it's waiting. They're going to leave Mexico for the United States border later today. The organizer says the numbers now are ballooning to 10,000. 10,000 people just massing over the border, and that could swell to 15,000 by later today when they get ready to cross over. This is in Tapachula, Mexico. President Biden still has yet to visit the border, you know that. Nearly 18 months in office. As for his so-called border czar, this month will mark a full year since Vice President Kamala Harris was there. She didn't go to the big Rio Grande part, the really bad part. She went to a different part, but at least she went near it. Hasn't been there in a year. How can you fix what you don't see?
Well, they are trying to pretend that it is not a problem. This is their border policy, open that southern border. But the cartels are in charge. We know that last year there were people from 160 different countries. We know that there are people from Russia and Ukraine who are in the group waiting to come across the border now. So Harris, what this administration is doing is subjecting people to sex slavery, to human trafficking, to drug trafficking. There are people that are dying. There are people that are having their lives ruined. These children thought they were going to come and have a better life, but what they're doing, they've got an ID bracelet on them from the cartel. They're going to track them. They're going to monitor them. They're going to be sure they pay off their debt. That is modern-day slavery. It's got to stop.
Yeah, and when they don't pay up, well, we won't even talk about what happens after that, because those children are considered to the drug cartels to be disposable in the worst fashion. What you said, though, about the ID bracelets and what we know are the numbers 10 to 15,000 later today, I don't know how the government at the White House can sit and watch that and not want to do something. More importantly, I don't know how the human beings in that house can do so. On our dime, I might add. Senator Blackburn, always great to have you in focus. Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Thank you.